It's September the 29th, and our reading today in the book of Psalms is Psalm 37. Do not fret because of evil men, or be envious of those who do wrong, for like the grass, they will soon wither. Like green plants, they will soon die away. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and enjoy safe pasture. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in him, and he will do this. He will make your righteousness shine like the dawn, the justice of your cause like the noonday sun. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. Do not fret when men succeed in their ways, when they carry out their wicked schemes. Refrain from anger and turn from wrath. Do not fret, it leads only to evil. For evil men will be cut off, but those who hope in the Lord will inherit the land. A little while and the wicked will be no more. Though you look for them, they will not be found. But the meek will inherit the land and enjoy great peace. The wicked plot against the righteous and gnash their teeth at them. But the Lord laughs at the wicked, for he knows their day is coming. The wicked draw the sword and bend the bow, to bring down the poor and needy, to slay those whose ways are upright. But their swords will pierce their own hearts, and their bows will be broken. Better the little that the righteous have than the wealth of many wicked. For the power of the wicked will be broken, but the Lord upholds the righteous. The days of the blameless are known to the Lord, and their inheritance will endure forever. In times of disaster, they will not wither. In days of famine, they will enjoy plenty. But the wicked will perish. The Lord's enemies will be like the beauty of the fields. They will vanish like smoke. The wicked borrow and do not repay, but the righteous give generously. Those the Lord blesses will inherit the land, but those he curses will be cut off. If the Lord delights in a man's way, he makes his steps firm. Though he stumble, he will not fall, for the Lord upholds him with his hand. I was young, and now I am old. Yet I've never seen the righteous forsaken, or their children begging bread. They are always generous and lend freely. Their children will be blessed. Turn from evil and do good. Then you will dwell in the land forever. For the Lord loves the just and will not forsake his faithful ones. They will be protected forever, but the offspring of the wicked will be cut off. The righteous will inherit the land and dwell in it forever. The mouth of the righteous man utters wisdom, and his tongue speaks what is just. The law of his God is in his heart. His feet do not slip. The wicked lie in wait for the righteous, seeking their very lives. But the Lord will not leave them in their power, or let them be condemned when brought to trial. Wait for the Lord and keep his way. He will exalt you to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, you will see it. I have seen a wicked and ruthless man flourishing like a green tree in its native soil, but he soon passed away and was no more. Though I looked for him, he could not be found. Consider the blameless, observe the upright. There is a future for the man of peace. But all sinners will be destroyed. The future of the wicked will be cut off. The salvation of the righteous comes from the Lord. He is their stronghold in time of trouble. The Lord helps them and delivers them. He delivers them from the wicked and saves them, because they take refuge in him. Amen. Now, we saw yesterday the presence in that psalm that we were looking at of the binary, the either or. And here it is again in Psalm 37. In fact, it's commonplace in the Psalms and throughout the whole Bible. Man and God, the creature, the creator, the righteous, the wicked. The last categories there run right throughout this psalm, and from verse 37 onwards: consider the blameless, observe the upright, verse 37, verse 38, but all sinners will be destroyed, the future of the wicked will be cut off. In this psalm, I want to emphasize another binary that is very important to bear in mind to understand this psalm, to understand the teaching of the whole Bible. And it is the negative and the positive. Just look at the opening verses. Now, whatever the context for this psalm, whatever the circumstances, it's something to do with these evil men who keep popping up. They're there in the opening line, in fact, and they're there all the way through. Is it that David is writing? Is it that he's reflecting, as he so often does, on his enemies, the pressure, the opposition from evil men, and even the prosperity of the wicked? That's alluded to here, which can be very frustrating and depressing. Men who seem to hate God, live without reference to him, and they have a wonderful time. That can be very perplexing, can't it? What is the answer to that? Well, just the opening section contains a number of negative and positive commands. Positively, we have one command after another. Verse 3, trust in the Lord and do good. Verse 4, delight yourself in the Lord, and he'll give you the desires of your heart. Verse 5, commit your way to the Lord. Verse 7, be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. These are all wonderful, positive commandments. These will help us to maintain stability, security, success in the midst of opposition, pressure, and the prosperity of the wicked. This is part of the answer to that. But did you notice that the main command, because it's repeated 3 times in this opening section, is a negative, something we must not do? Did you notice that? There it is in the opening line. Do not fret because of evil men. Verse 7, do not fret when men succeed in their ways, when they carry out their wicked schemes. Verse 8, refrain from anger and turn from wrath. Do not fret, it leads only to evil. So in fact, the main command here is a negative. And we need the positives, but we also need the negatives. We need to be told certain things that we need to be and to do and to believe and so on. But there are certain things also we need to know. We need to be told certain things that we mustn't do. We mustn't believe. We mustn't be. Think of the 10 Commandments, one of the most famous parts of the whole Bible. You know, there's only one positive command in the 10 Commandments. Do you remember what it is? And all the others are, you shall not. We live in a time when we're under pressure, actually, to focus only on the positive. It's almost a crime now to be negative. We think of certain politicians whose message is only positive, and you're only allowed to have positive things to say. It's what's called spin. And there's so much of that sort of thing in the church as well. But Psalm 37 reminds us that if we want to live the blameless life that he refers to again and again of the righteous in a wicked world, then it reminds us that we need to get the balance right between the positive and the negative commands of God. This is not only true for this psalm and for the psalms generally, it's true for the whole Bible. It's true for what Paul calls all scripture. Let's finish with 2 Timothy 3 verses 16 and 17 and see how he develops this there. All scripture, the whole Bible, is God-breathed and is useful for, now two things to begin with, teaching and rebuking. This is to do with doctrine and what we should believe. Teaching is positive. Believe that. Rebuking is exposing error. Do not believe that. All scripture is God-breathed and is useful for teaching, rebuking, and then he moves from belief to behavior. Correcting, that's the negative. Don't behave like that. There's certain things that are wrong to do, certain behaviors that are evil and unacceptable in the sight of a holy God. Don't be like that. Don't do that. Correcting and training in righteousness. That's the way you are to behave. That's the positive lifestyle that God does want from you. Positive and negative. Belief, behavior. We need both. Why? So that, verse 17, exactly like we saw in Psalm 37. There it's called the blameless life. Here, verse 17, so that the man of God may be thoroughly equipped for every good work.